every mom struggles with something in her head. And so I thought this guy's going to be great for moms and for anybody listening today. Stick around because he's going to have some great advice for your head and your heart issues, the things you struggle with.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
I'm Tom Walker with American Family Insurance. If you have questions about insurance or other services we provide, I want to help. You're always welcome to contact me or simply stop by my office so we can get to know each other. Thanks for visiting and have a great day.
Call Tom at Tom Walker Agency, your American Star certified agency. Excellence in customer experience at TomWalkerInsurance.com. Shelly and I want everyone to know we're talking about our facial skin during the break. And
yes, everyone should go and see it because Jenny has great skin today.
I know I plugged my friend. We need to sponsor Nerium.
Yes.
Yeah, I really want to have Nerium be a sponsor because I use it and it does do good things for my skin. So, and they're not even a sponsor, but I do love my other sponsors. Center for Relationship Education, just fabulous people. They help marriages, and the folks at Pediatric Dental Group are so good with kids. And Tom Walker, my personal insurance agent, he's really one of those guys that give you personal attention, gets you the good deals, and really helps you.
And they love moms.
Yeah, they do. They're all supporting moms. So please know that. If you need to shop for any of those things, choose them because they love on moms. He is a well-known psychologist. He's a speaker, a Bible teacher, a popular author, and founder-director of New Way Ministries. He is currently the scholar in residence at Colorado Christian University right here in Colorado, where we broadcast this show from. Dr. Crabb has authored many books, including Understanding People, The Marriage Builder, Finding God, and his well-known book, Inside Out, which we're going to talk about today. This year, the updated 25th anniversary edition came out, and Dr. Crabb is going to help us learn to change. Thank you. From the inside out. By the way, he and his wife, Rachel, live right here in Denver. Welcome to the Channel Mom Show, Dr. Crabb.
Great to be with you, Jenny. You set the bar way too high, but I'll do my best.
Okay. Sorry about that. You say on page 19 of the new book, the 25th anniversary edition, most Christians vaguely sense that they long for so much more than what they experience on a daily basis, and they suppress a terror that no one could know them fully and still want to be their friend. Maybe that's why the book has hit a chord. The message of Inside Out is simply this: feel the deepest longings in your soul that will never be fully satisfied. Don't be afraid of sadness. Face the hidden sin in your heart that makes it clear how thoroughly undelightful you are. Don't be afraid of brokenness. And then you talk about pain and the disappointed longings and so on and so forth. So there are moms all over the world who feel those things you just referenced to, but they feel like they should not feel sad. Let's talk about that. What do you want to say?
That's very sad to me that people somehow have the idea that to know Jesus means you're going to be singing happy songs all day long.
Yeah.
That just makes no sense to me at all because he never promised that. You know, if you look at the Matthew passage, Matthew chapter 7, when he finishes the Beatitudes, just before he gets to the end of it, he says, let me tell you that the path to life is narrow. And the word for narrow in the Greek is thalipsis, and it means crushing. It means this is God talking, I'm going to crush something out of you that shouldn't be there, and the more you let me crush it out of you, the more you're going to release what is really alive in you because of the gospel, and that's going to free you to be a different kind of mom, a different kind of wife, a different kind of dad, a different kind of husband, a different kind of guy or woman.
Yeah, we sometimes think that we sign up for just this easy, I love Jesus, it's all going to be okay path.
And I'm just surprised at how many people really think that and get encouraged to think that from pulpits sometimes and from books that are written by Christian authors that give me the impression that I must be really a screwed-up psychologist because I'm not happy all the time.
On page 51 of your book, you write, the hard-to-handle issues in our soul that keep us from relating to others deeply and constructively are ignored, and easier-to-handle matters, such as social courtesies and appropriate language, become widely accepted barometers of spiritual health. So you talk about the shallow coper versus the troubled reflector, and you say that often, and I think this is so true of at least American Christians, that we ignore the aches and the corruption in us and all those other things, and we just think, I've coped this long with the things that bother me and with the things that I do wrong and with the things in other people that bother me. I'm just going to keep on keeping on, and I'm going to do some of the things right. I'm not going to swear anymore, and I'm going to give at church, but I'm not going to go deep with people. I'm not going to go deep with myself. I'm not going to work to go to that place that it takes to change, and that's why the book's called Inside Out.
It's just too risky to do that for most of us, and it's risky for me. I mean, I wrote the book, but I'm still scared to death, because if I really explore what's inside of me, then I get in touch with the fear that you mentioned earlier. If you really knew me, would you have any interest in talking to me? Mm-hmm. If you really knew what I'm really like, would you read my book? And something in me feels a profound sense of shame. I've been married for 47 years, and sometimes my marriage doesn't work all that well, but we're doing fine. Rachel's repenting, so we're okay. But obviously, I failed as a father in some ways. We have 2 sons that are now in their 40s. I'm an old grandfather. But in earlier days, if we had a couple hours, I could spend the whole time telling you how I failed as a father in a variety of ways. And some of my failures looked very godly. When my kids were little, I was determined to be the best dad that the world's ever seen so my kids would have no troubles.
Yeah.
And we had devotions like very few families have devotions. I bought an overhead projector for family devotions.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, right.
Did it matter?
My kids just loved it. And by the time my kids were 5 years old, they could define the word propitiation. So I figured, I know I'm home free. I'm giving them the Bible studies. They're going to be just great.
Yeah.
And that basically was my attempt to manage life so I would have all the blessings I wanted.